Vanessa Bryant married Kobe Bryant at the age of 18, and from that moment forward, her life became intertwined with a storm of controversy, conflict, and deeply personal battles that extended far beyond a typical celebrity marriage. What began as a young love story quickly evolved into a complex narrative involving fractured family ties, locker room tensions, public scrutiny, and millions of dollars. Over the years, various people, from family members to teammates to media figures, repeatedly pointed toward Vanessa whenever turmoil arose, placing her at the center of situations she did not always initiate. Yet, regardless of her role, she remained a constant figure in the unfolding drama surrounding Kobe's life and legacy. One of the most talked about controversies involving Vanessa occurred during the 2003 NBA season, in what became known as the Karl Malone incident. On November 23, 2003, during a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks, Karl Malone, then a 40-year-old veteran chasing his first championship, was seated on the bench in cowboy attire due to injury. According to Kobe's longtime agent, Rob Pelinka, Malone approached Vanessa and asked her directly, "Do you like me?" before making an inappropriate remark referencing hunting little Mexican girls. Vanessa reported the interaction to Kobe, who confronted Malone immediately. Kobe later addressed the situation publicly, though he made it clear that he had initially attempted to keep the matter private. He explained that reporters approached him after details leaked, forcing him to respond. At first, he described it as a personal issue that had been handled privately, but once what he called half-truths began circulating in the media, he felt compelled to clarify. Even then, Kobe chose his words carefully, stating that he knew what had happened and how he felt about it, but ultimately expressed a desire to move on, referring to the incident as water under the bridge. Malone, for his part, denied any malicious intent. Years later, he characterized the interaction as harmless joking and issued an apology if anyone had been offended. However, he also took a more aggressive stance, stating in a 2015 interview that he would be willing to settle the matter physically, suggesting that old-school fights were a valid way to resolve disputes. Despite this, no confrontation ever took place, and Kobe permanently distanced himself from Malone. The fallout from this incident extended beyond a personal disagreement. It further destabilized an already fragile Lakers locker room. The 2003-04 team was plagued by internal conflict, particularly the ongoing feud between Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal. Malone's alleged comments added another layer of tension, contributing to a breakdown in trust within a team that was expected to compete for a championship. Media coverage only intensified the situation, with outlets dubbing it Vanessagate, and even Saturday Night Live creating parodies. Critics labeled Vanessa a source of drama, while others defended her, arguing that she had every right to report inappropriate and racially insensitive remarks. This incident marked the beginning of a broader pattern. Whenever conflict arose, whether in Kobe's personal life or professional career, Vanessa's presence was often cited as a contributing factor. She did not create the long-standing rivalry between Kobe and Shaq, nor did she initiate locker room disputes, yet her name frequently surfaced as an explanation for the chaos. The feud between Kobe and Shaquille O'Neal had been brewing since 1996, when a teenage Kobe joined a Lakers team built around Shaq. Differences in personality, playing style, and leadership quickly led to friction. Over time, the tension escalated into physical altercations, public criticism, and mutual blame for team failures. By 2003, Kobe was openly criticizing Shaq's conditioning, while Shaq accused Kobe of selfishness. The situation worsened when, during a Colorado investigation, Kobe reportedly told police that Shaq had paid women to remain silent about affairs, a claim that, once leaked, deeply angered Shaq. After the Lakers lost the 2004 NBA Finals to Detroit, Shaq demanded a trade, blaming the organization for siding with Kobe. The rivalry became fully public after the trade, with Shaq mocking Kobe in a freestyle rap and Kobe responding by winning additional championships and subtly taunting his former teammate. Despite the animosity, Kobe later admitted that he was not entirely blameless. In interviews, he acknowledged that he could have handled certain situations differently, including his role in the feud. However, the roots of the tension surrounding Vanessa and Kobe extended even further back, to their marriage in 2001. Their relationship began in 1999, when a 21-year-old Kobe met 17-year-old Vanessa Lane on the set of a music video. Vanessa, born in Huntington Beach, California, came from a modest background. Her mother, Sophia, worked multiple jobs, and Vanessa grew up moving between relatives' homes. She attended Marina High School and worked as a background dancer in music videos and concerts. The relationship between Kobe and Vanessa progressed quickly. Within 6 months, they were engaged, and on April 18, 2001, they married in a private Catholic ceremony attended by only about a dozen people. Notably absent were Kobe's parents, Joe and Pamela Bryant, who refused to attend. Reports suggested they disapproved of Vanessa due to her young age, perceived immaturity, and cultural differences, as she was Latina while they were African American. Their absence marked the beginning of a 2-year estrangement between Kobe and his parents. Although reconciliation began after the birth of Kobe and Vanessa's first daughter, Natalia, in 2003, the relationship never fully recovered. Tensions were further complicated by financial matters. Over his career, Kobe provided significant financial support to his family, including housing and direct monetary assistance. However, rumors circulated that Vanessa's family received more support, creating resentment and suspicion. Former NBA player Sebastian Telfair later spoke about the situation, drawing parallels to his own life. He explained how choosing a spouse against family wishes can strain relationships in ways that money cannot fix. Telfair also suggested that the NBA environment, with its intense focus on performance, can contribute to such divisions by encouraging players to prioritize basketball above all else. These underlying tensions erupted publicly in 2013 during the so-called Memorabilia War. Kobe filed a lawsuit against his parents after they consigned over 100 pieces of his personal memorabilia, including high school jerseys, championship rings, and awards, to an auction house. He claimed the items were never meant to be sold and were intended for his children. His parents countered by stating that the items had been given to them as gifts, accusing both Kobe and Vanessa of making false statements in court filings. The legal battle exposed deep divisions within the family. Kobe's sister sided with him, while his parents stood firm in their claims. Ultimately, the case was settled, with most items withdrawn and a public apology issued by Joe and Pamela. However, the damage to their relationship was permanent. Kobe later confirmed that he had not spoken to his parents for years. All of these conflicts unfolded against the backdrop of the most serious controversy of Kobe's life, the 2003 sexual assault case in Colorado. A 19-year-old hotel employee accused Kobe of assault, alleging that a consensual encounter had escalated into rape. Kobe admitted that a sexual encounter had occurred but maintained that it was consensual. He publicly declared his innocence while expressing remorse for his infidelity, apologizing to Vanessa and calling her his backbone. Vanessa stood beside him during the press conference, remaining silent but visibly supportive. She wore a $4 million diamond ring that became a focal point of public discussion. Critics interpreted it as a form of hush money, while supporters viewed it as a gesture of commitment. The criminal case was eventually dropped when the accuser declined to testify, and a civil case was settled privately. Kobe later reflected on how the experience changed him, describing it as a defining moment that forced him to reevaluate his identity as a man, husband, and athlete. Throughout this period, Vanessa's decision to stay with him became one of the most polarizing aspects of her public image. Some praised her loyalty, while others questioned her motives. After Kobe's tragic death in 2020, Vanessa inherited an estate valued at hundreds of millions of dollars, instantly becoming one of the wealthiest women in sports. However, with that inheritance came renewed scrutiny and a series of legal battles. Her own mother filed a $5 million lawsuit, claiming unpaid wages for years of work as a nanny and assistant. Vanessa denied the allegations, calling them extortion, and the case was eventually settled. She also filed a lawsuit against Los Angeles County after learning that first responders had taken and shared graphic photos from the helicopter crash site. The case revealed serious misconduct and resulted in a substantial settlement, with funds directed toward charitable causes. Additional legal disputes, including a case involving a former executive at Kobe Incorporated, further reinforced the perception that financial conflicts followed her. Despite these challenges, Vanessa continued to manage Kobe's legacy while raising their 4 daughters. She led philanthropic efforts through the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation, supported youth sports initiatives, and maintained control over Kobe's business ventures. However, public scrutiny never fully subsided. Critics, commentators, and media personalities continued to debate her role in the events that shaped Kobe's life. Even years later, questions about Vanessa Bryant persist. To some, she represents unwavering loyalty and resilience in the face of immense adversity. To others, she remains a controversial figure whose presence coincided with significant conflict. Kobe's parents believed they lost their son because of her. Critics questioned her influence within the NBA. Others accused her of benefiting from tragedy. Yet Kobe himself consistently described her as his foundation. In the end, the truth likely lies somewhere between these competing narratives. Vanessa Bryant's story is inseparable from Kobe's, marked by love, conflict, loss, and legacy. Whether viewed as a target of blame or a catalyst for change, her life reflects the complexities of being at the center of one of the most scrutinized relationships in modern sports history.